and welcome back. My name is Olly Matthews and this is episode 4 of my 2021 fitness vlog. So I've just come back from my first Fartlek training session of the year, and I'm still quite red-faced from the effort. So yeah, it was good. It was hard. Before I went out on the run, I did a little bit of research because I wanted to figure out what's the difference between fartlek, interval, and HIIT training, because I wasn't sure whether they actually were just different words for the same thing, or they were different. And it turns out they are actually different. So fartlek, which is the session I just did, is where you do a continuous run. But within that continuous run, you then change your pace, faster, slower, medium, all that kind of stuff. And I think it's in the changing of the pace and forcing your body to go from, a slow jog to a sprint, or a sprint down to a jog, and then back up to a sprint. That kind of changing, as well as the actual sort of peaks and troughs themselves. That makes you work harder, makes your body work harder. That kind of shifting of gears. But it's a continuous run. Whereas interval training is where you will do a sort of a predetermined set of runs. So you might do 5 2-minute runs at medium pace, for example, and have a break in between, and then do another 5 runs of 2 minutes at maximum pace, which again with sort of rest in between each of those reps. So you can be working at different paces, but you are resting in between reps. So that's the interval side. And then I thought HIIT training or HIIT running was interval training, because it's got interval in the name, high intensity interval training. But I actually think HIIT training is more like HIIT running, is more like fartlek running, because the session that I just did, it was one of the ones on the Peloton app. And for those who are looking at some kind of app to help them at the moment because of kickstart the year, Peloton's worth having a look at. It's got loads of classes on there, and they're all done to a really sort of high production quality. But the thing that really attracted me is it's free, totally free. So for 60 days, it's free of charge to new sign-ups. So it's worth giving a go. I can't remember seeing what the figures are, the subscription fees are after that. Maybe it's a 10 or 12 quid a month or something like that. But 2 months for free is good. So I did one of their, what they call HIIT sessions today. But I actually, if you think about it, it wasn't an interval session because it was a continuous run. I think HIIT is more, kind of comes from more like circuit training and stuff like that. And it's just kind of got moved over. And in a cardio world, it kind of means that chopping and changing of paces and throughout a session, but it's basically fartlek. So that's what I did today, and it was a half-hour run. You did a little bit of a warm-up, sort of jog, then you went through different stages of ramping up your pace. So I think we did about 2 minutes. The maths is going to go horribly wrong here, so don't try and add it up because it won't fit. But like maybe a minute at, say, 4 to 5 out of 10 pace. So on the Peloton app, they don't tell you run at X kilometers per hour because you're outside, so it's hard to sort of to get an accurate figure without constantly checking your phone or watch. Would be quite annoying. So they kind of give like relative effort indicators. So it's like 4 out of 5. You should be able to talk if there was someone running next to you and things like that. So yeah, you start off. You do like 1 minute about 4/5 out of 10. Then another minute at say 5/6. Then I think like a minute at 7, then drop down and you have a minute's rest, then you go back up and you do 2 minutes at say 5 to 6, 2 minutes at 7, then drop back down for a minute's rest, then ramp up, and then you're building in the second half of this 30-minute run, you're building towards these 4 sprints, and the first one is 30 seconds, and then there's some sort of rest and jogging in between the next one, and the next one is 45 seconds, a little sort of rest, and then the third one is a minute, again then a rest, and then the fourth one is fourth and final one is another minute. And the idea is that during those you're going as flat out as you can, and by the end those sprints weren't particularly fast for me, but they were harder than what I'd been doing in the previous minutes. So I think that's kind of the point. And it was good. It felt good. It was hard though. It was hard. Like I did. It's a 30-minute workout, and I think overall I did about 6k, maybe just under, something like that, in about 28 minutes. But I checked when I hit the 5 kilometre mark. I'd done that in 24 minutes, 59 seconds. So a little bit slower than the 5k, just straightforward 5k runs I was doing last week. But I felt like I was working a lot harder today. A lot harder, like though that chopping and changing and having to go for a sprint and then carry on jogging afterwards, like not just be able to sort of stop and collapse, that really made me work hard. So I'm hoping that hard work kind of pays off and I'll feel better for it. I do think immediately that I'm going to feel worse for it because when we were doing the sprint sessions or sections, I was properly stretching out my stride and really trying to up the pace and go quickly. And I got up some good speed, but I could feel the muscles in my thighs stretching and being pushed in a way that they haven't done for quite a while. So actually, I think next, maybe not tomorrow, but maybe Thursday, I'm going to feel quite sore in the legs. But it was good. It was good. So like I say, it was a half an hour Fartlek session with those chopping and changing. I think you could. I used an app, but you could do it for yourself quite easily if you just did. 1 minute at a jog, 2 minutes at a run, 1 minute at a sprint. I kind of went through that and chopped and changed and played around with that kind of that sequence. Then that would be a Fartlek session, I think, and it would do you good. They are meant to help you sort of improve fitness and sort of cardiovascular capacity quite quickly, particularly more quickly than just general running, just straightforward running. So I'm kind of hoping to see some benefit from those things in the next couple of weeks. So that was today. I'm going to do another one of those on Thursday or Friday this week, and then a longer run on the weekend, and try and get into that pattern. I've been looking around for different running schedules and ideas and things like that, and there's plenty out there, like they're freely available, but I'm trying to sort of find something that's going to keep me interested and engaged at the moment as well, because my attention span's pretty poor, so I need to kind of keep that motivation level high in these early weeks so I can see an improvement. So I'll go for another one of these Fartlek runs on Thursday, and then a longer run on sort of Saturday or Sunday. And I'm trying to squeeze that Bronco session in there at some point as well, because that's a good way of getting a benchmark on kind of fitness that I can compare my progress to over the coming weeks and months. Someone did actually ask, I think it was on Twitter, someone asked, like, what am I doing from a health and from a nutrition point of view and like a healthy eating point of view? I could definitely eat better without a doubt, and I know that sort of physical well-being and fitness actually has a lot to do with your diet, much more to do with your diet than compared to the fitness. I could definitely eat better. I do eat kind of okay, a lot down to my partner actually being a fantastic cook and a nutritionist. So because of her, I actually eat pretty healthy. So that's good. I'm trying to cut down on the sort of the snacks. The big thing for me is cutting down on the carbs. Like the potatoes and bread are just the thing I love more than anything else. So yeah, trying to cut down on those would be a good thing. Someone also asked about, do I take any supplements or something like that? Like, vitamins. I mean, definitely not roids. No one. I am definitely not an advert for steroids. But the only thing I've been using, and this isn't really in order to get like cardio fit, but it's more about sort of general health, is this, I think it's called like Vital Greens or Vital stuff. It's not really in focus, sorry about that, but it's called Vital all-in-one daily health supplement with, okay, so it's got vitamins, minerals, greens, vital protein as opposed to non-vital protein, not sure what the difference is, herbs, superfoods, antioxidants, digestive enzymes, prebiotics, no postbiotics, but prebiotics, and then 14 billion probiotics. Now, I don't know. I guess they can't actually say that without it being true. I don't know what it means, and I don't know if this is anything better than sort of than any others. But Let me show you. It's a powder. It's a green dry powder. So you can about that without tipping it all over my laptop. And you have 2 heaped teaspoons of that in like 2/3 of a pint of water. Do it daily. It tastes awful. I really don't like the taste. People have said like it tastes like bubble gum and things like that. It's like if that's what bubble gum tastes like, no one would put it in their mouth. So it doesn't taste great, but you just nick it back and then follow it with another glass of water to get rid of the taste. I haven't really noticed any benefits from it, to be perfectly honest, but I haven't noticed any sort of downsides to it either. So I'm going to kind of trust and believe that it's doing me good. It might, it might be interesting to see if it helps me kind of recover quicker. And sort of help me flush things out when I sort of go on these longer, harder runs and things like that. But look, other than that, that's all I do from like a supplement point of view. I don't think painkillers count as supplements, do they? No. So that's it there. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Like I say, on the Fartlek session, it's up on Strava, so check it out. Peloton 60 days free, check that out. Oh, there was one thing I was going to mention. I am, as is probably very obvious, a complete, not even amateur, like below amateur, I'm not sure what like sub-amateur is, but runner. Like I don't do this, I'm not a professional in any way, shape or form. I run 3 marathons. Well, I finished 3 marathons. I'm not sure I ran them all, but I've finished 3 marathons. I've done a few half marathons and 10Ks and things like that. So I've done a fair number of longer runs and train and things like that. But all of this advice is that's very important. It's not advice. It's just what I'm doing and what I have done to try and help me get in shape. And the vast majority of this stuff is being taken from other experts online and on YouTube and things like that. And there's one in particular, Ben Parks, is really good. I highly recommend checking out his channel. He's like a pro runner, as in I think he gets paid or sponsored to do it. He's really interesting, really down to earth. He's fast, he's rapid, man. Really, really quick. But he's got some really good sort of tips, and there's a lot of it that's probably well beyond me, both in terms of sort of ability and I guess like need. Like some of the recovery stuff he's got is just amazing, like body suits and leg suits, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to invest that part of money into that, but it's really interesting to know it's out there. But there's plenty of stuff about sort of running techniques and how to do schedules and stretching and all that kind of advice. It's really, really good. So yeah, check out Ben Parks. If there's anything in particular that you guys wanted to ask or would like me to talk more about or check out or try or something like that, to some kind of training program or technique that you're using that you find is working and I'd love to hear about it. So please comment below or on Twitter, things like that. Just message me and I'll pick it up. In the meantime, have a good one. Take care of yourself and speak soon. Bye.